Hey, I'm Jim.
Hey, Jim. Well, some of you guys have probably noticed that I start a lot of my videos off by saying, "Hey, Jim." Well, Jim is my dad. And unfortunately, he passed away on May 4th. It left me utterly flat. I mean, he was 88 years old. He'd lived a long and colorful life, and he was ready for whatever was next, but still, it was really rough. You know, we'll miss him. Everyone will miss him. You know, he had a way of being rough, grumpy, but in the end, everyone always just loved him and considered him their friend. He met my mother when he was 15 years old. They married when they were 18 years old, and then he enlisted in the Navy. And I don't really know what he did in the Navy. He never really talked about it. It was some secret stuff, I guess. But whatever it was, it stuck with him for the rest of his life. But after being discharged, he started out a career as a film technician. He worked for the film processing laboratories for the movie studios way back when, in the 50s, where he's working on MGM movies and Technicolor, and then he ended up crawling up through all the ranks and ended up as a laboratory superintendent, where he ran the whole damn film lab. And then he ended up going out and working for independent film labs, and he was highly sought after because of his military background, where he kept his top secret rating, whatever that is, and it made it where whatever film laboratory he went to, some of the biggest government contracts came along with him, because he was a top secret guy where they could bring any and all of their secret CIA, government, whatever it is, stuff to wherever he worked, and it was safe. So all of these independent labs sought him out. He was a popular guy. But then, as all things do, time marched on, and digital took over for film, where film processing laboratories were starting to fall by the wayside. So Jim was smart. He retired. And he retired for a short time. And then I was really interested in the furniture business back then. And Jim, in his lovely way, took an interest in what I was interested in. And next thing you know, our family was in the furniture business. We opened a furniture store. We started manufacturing furniture. It was quite a furniture industry adventure for quite a few years for all of us. Then, as Jim and my mother Helen sort of drifted away from the furniture business, I stayed in it. My brother stayed in it for a while. And they went into business as Hollywood talent agents. And they did spectacularly well. They were one of the biggest Hollywood talent agents there was for children for quite a few years. It was the Helen Garrett Talent Agency. And they were open for quite a few years, did great stuff. They were very successful. And then, of course, he retired again. But like every other time, it wasn't really for long. I was working for the movie studios, and I got a job for a movie called The Scorpion King. And I was hiring a pretty big crew, and I had a position open for a die shop superintendent. I needed someone who had a good eye for color and who could keep a crew of silly studio employees marching to his drummer. And I thought I knew the guy, and it was Jim. So he came out of retirement again and joined the IATSC union so he could become the Scorpion King Die Master. And he did that for quite a few months. He was spectacular at it. Every single person I would send him 4 or 5 people every day to the die shop for his crew, and people would fight over who got to go to the die shop. They loved him. Everyone wanted to go work at the die shop. I had a hard time keeping some of my guys working with me because everybody wanted to go working with Jim. And yet, you'd think it's because they were all kind of just goofing off. They got a ton of stuff done. They became the only, we became the only actual flame retardant application place in all of Hollywood. We were the only ones that were state certified to do flame retardant application. That was part of the die shop, and he kind of spearheaded all of that and made us something, and it was all because of him. He just was he was amazing at the die shop. Yeah, and after that, he started to slow down a little bit. A few years later, they moved out into the desert, and then a few years after that, when my mother passed away, he was just devastated, and he never really recovered from that. He'd been with her since he was 15 years old, so losing your partner of such a long time, it's hard on you. He actually took it upon himself and moved himself into an assisted living facility. We tried to get him to move in with us. We offered to convert the garage, right where we're standing here, into an additional living facility for him, and no, he didn't really want to do that. He didn't want that. Later on, he liked the idea. He was planning on moving to North Carolina with us. When we're moving later this year, he was going to come with us. He was planning on moving with us in the big Bluebird motorhome. He was so thrilled, so tickled to see that Bluebird. He just loved the videos about it, and he really wanted to come along. He was looking forward to that. But even so, after my mother passed, I just don't think he was ever really happy, completely happy ever again. And I was trying to do things to help entertain him, and that's what kind of brings us back to this channel. Okay. He was very mechanically inclined. He was a machinist. He loved to play around with me whenever I would work on cars. He wasn't really into cars so much, but he was into mechanical stuff. So whenever I would start diving into a car, he thought it was great entertainment because he knew I didn't know anything about what I was doing. He just appreciated that I had the balls to go ahead and take it apart anyway, even though I didn't really know what I was doing. And I think he found that he found great entertainment in that. And I used to call him and talk to him about what I was doing and saying, oh yeah, I bought this other piece of crap German car that everyone's deadly afraid of because they break so much. And he would laugh, and then I would tell him about it breaking and about me trying to fix this or that. And one day he said, I wish I could see. I wish I could just see. Well, he didn't have email, and he didn't have a smartphone by choice. He didn't want it. I tried to give him all that stuff. He didn't want it. He just wasn't interested in that crap. But he loved his giant screen TV, and he watched Russian car crash videos and police videos and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. So got me thinking, Well, he likes to watch YouTube. He wants to see what I'm doing. Why can't I just post some videos on YouTube? It's not like anyone's going to care. I mean, so that's the genesis for this channel. I posted a few practice videos on YouTube. Seemed to work. Posted a couple of, I think one of the first ones was me taking my old 400,000 mile Porsche for a drive. And posted that. And he really enjoyed it. He thought it was hilarious. And like, okay. So I didn't say his name in the first few, but after a while, I just started greeting him in the beginning because every video, it's for him. That's why I'm making them. He loved it. He got a big kick out of it. He enjoyed the idea. I think it kind of harkened back to his talent agency days where it kind of felt like, and my mother had my brother and I working as child actors, so there's maybe something to do with that, but he really got a kick out of the idea of thinking that, and he knew what YouTube was. He knew it was just me making a video for him, but still it was kind of fun for him thinking that I had a TV show. And I know he brought some of his friends from the assisted living facility in to watch some of the videos sometimes. So I know he got a really big kick out of it, and that's why I continue to do these. At first, there were like 6 or 7 subscribers, and I knew who every single one of them was. Several of them were me, my wife, Sean, a couple of close friends. I told them about it, and of course Jim. So 6 or 7 subscribers in the beginning. Yeah, I know who every single one of them is, and every video I'm putting up is just a personal thing for my friends and family. And then a year or two, I guess it's been 2 years now, has gone by, and now it's like there's over 500 subscribers. Well, when Jim passed, my first thought was, that's the end. I'm not going to do this channel anymore because the one person I was trying to entertain isn't there anymore. So what's my real motivation? I mean, what's the point? I don't make any money off of this. If anything, it just costs me time. It doesn't really cost me any money because, well, I spent some money at a dollar store on some sunglasses once for props, but I guess that I can afford that. So it just didn't seem like there was any real point for me to continue doing this. And then I think about it a little more, and I was like, you know what? I have been kind of having some fun. It's kind of fun when I think about doing a stupid job on one of these dumb German cars and filming it, videotaping. That's not even the right either. Recording it on my digital device. It's been fun, so I think I'm going to continue on. And I think I'm going to continue starting each one with, hey Jim, because I know if there's any way he can, he's still watching. Missed you, Jim. We all love you.
Hey Jim. Hey Scott.
Here he is from 1970. Driver's license photo. 1974. Look at that mustache. Now we're going to jump up to 1994. A little bit smaller mustache. 2003. And 2008. The progress may be slow, but it's still progress. That doesn't look